what do you think the Agile community, or in for any matter, like, what do we need to do to get better understanding complexity management?
You all need to go on rehabilitation programs to stop yourself being obsessed with credentials. I mean, I've got 3 sets of letters I can put after my name. They all came out of years of study from universities, and I never bothered to put them after my name. Agile people like to string 15 qualifications based on turning up to a 2-day course and filling out a multi-choice questionnaire with an open book exam, right? So you really need to break that, because it's a completely false representation of knowledge, right? I think the most important thing is to break away from the vendor-specific linear frameworks, which actually aren't frameworks. Yeah, Scrum isn't a framework, whatever they want to call it. It's a collection of methods. Yeah, and it works for certain types of software development, and it works for certain types of programs in HR or finance, but it doesn't work for strategy. It's a really bad method for handling strategy because it's too structured. Right, so you need to have different methods and different combinations of methods from multiple vendors working in parallel, which is why things like SAFe, to a lesser extent, less ironically, right?
Yeah.
And I would have said until PMI got involved that was probably even better, but PMI will structure things, right? You need to get away from these highly structured single vendor solutions. Yeah, because they're actually really dangerous. And I mean, final story on this, I was lucky, I taught leadership with Peter Drucker. So the first time I spoke on the same platform as Peter Drucker, which was at the Hotel Del in Coronado, which is one of my favorite hotels in the world, all right? So I'm speaking before Peter Drucker, so I think this is wonderful. And I did a savage, naive attack on Taylorism. And I got the, not I knew Frederick Taylor, but I knew people who knew Frederick Taylor's speech, like that famous put down of the American vice president. And if you've ever been rendered into a puddle of humiliation by a 96-year-old genius when you thought you were going to be accoladed, you know how I felt, right? Either way, he decided I was retrievable and took me out for dinner. And then we actually taught 3 major courses together. Wow. Which saved my bacon one day, because Lou Gerstner got an invitation to come to a invitation-only seminar run by Peter Drucker and Dave Snowden. And he wrote a post-it note, he told me afterwards, which said, "Who is this person? I gather he works for me." And that happened about half an hour before 2 people came in with manufactured evidence to have me fired. So that was really lucky, because they kind of like worked the other way. But one of the things Drucker and I agreed is that scientific management and complexity theory have a lot in common. Far more than they've got in common with systems thinking. Because both of them automate what they can automate. But they actually have apprentice models of management, and they respect human judgment. And what happened with systems thinking is an attempt to remove human judgment from the system completely.